Welcome back to the sessions on the subject marketing management. In today's lecture, I'll explain about the concept marketing management. With respect to marketing segmentation, as we will discuss about what is segmentation, the basic definition of market segmentation. Then we will move to what is the basis for segmentation, and we'll conclude the today's session with different types of segmentation. Now, first, what is market segmentation? And before going to learn about what is market segmentation, first let us have an idea about why to segment. As the general meaning, we can say that segment means dividing. The general meaning, yes, dividing, that we'll call it as segmentation. Here also the same, we are dividing the market. Why to divide? What is the need or necessity to divide? Basically, as every company is offering the different types of products that will address the different types of needs of customers. Thus, all the needs and wants of the customers will be same. Means we can say that no. If we will take, for example, a sample of 100 customers, among this 100 people itself, as we might have the different 7 to 8 different needs might be observed. Yes, for example, the student want pen. In that case, as once different types of features that a student will see while purchasing a pen. Is it possible to any company to fulfill all the basic requirements of all the customers? Means no. So to do that, to whom that we need to satisfy. When I am trying to, this is a very small sample that we have taken 100. But in general, we will take lakhs and crores of customers that we have. It is not possible to any company to fulfill all those basic requirements. Then what need to be done ultimately? So for that, they'll identify what are the strongest need that the company has to address. What is the area of profitability? For that is, we will go for market segmentation. Now, what is the definition? How can we define the segmentation? Markets breakup, that means dividing the heterogeneous markets for the products into several subunits, submarkets, each relatively more homogeneous within itself. Basically, in the concept of market segmentation, what we are doing, we are dividing the entire market. For example, in a market, there are 10 lakhs of customers that we have. We are dividing this entire markets into different segments, different parts. One part might be more, one part might be less, like different aspects that we might have here. Now, how we are dividing this one means, when compared with like A, B, C, D, E, F, different segmentations that we have, within A, all the who will fall under A means all these people will have homogeneous characteristics. That means the needs and wants are some characteristic that we will consider, all will be same here. But whereas when we will compare between A and B, then both should have the different elements, different segmentation. For example, if we are taking the customers here, A, who are going for only online to purchase all their shopping, then B segment will be all those people who are going only for offline shopping, like that. So there are 980 members present under A segment. Who are these 980 people means all are homogeneous. All the customers, people present under segment A will prefer to buy the things online. So within that segment, it is homogeneous, but when compared with two different segments, it is sharing heterogeneous characteristic. It is mandatory. If we are not following this rule, that means our segmentation has been not done in a proper way and we could not able to take effective decisions here. Each relatively homogeneous characteristics that it has to possess, such a process, such a division, that we'll call it as market segmentation. Now, as we said that segmentation means dividing. On what basis that it has been divided? A, B, C, D, as I said that there are 10 lakh customers are present in a market. We want to divide this 10 lakh customers. On what basis that we will divide? For example, if I have a group of products like pens, pencils, erasers, sharpener, or else books, scales, etc., etc. All these I have called a student to make an arrangement. There are different kinds of arrangements might be possible. One has arranged all the pens, pencils, eraser, sharpeners. This is one type of segment, one type of division. Another student, what they have done, every student require all this stationery, so they have prepared a bunch. So there are different aspects or characteristics that we will follow while dividing a segment. That we will call them as basis for market segmentation. Now, what is the basis for this market segmentation? Means generalized way. There are 5 different ways that we have where a market can be segmented. A market can be segmented. We need to remember one thing here. Segmentation can be done based upon the customers or consumers, but it is not based upon the type of product. Okay, the company will offer the product to different products to different customers, but the segmentation can be done with respect to customers. Now, how we will do? For a product can be segmented under the different aspects. Now, what are the basis for segmentation? Here we have geographic segmentation, demographic segmentation, socio-cultural segmentation, psychographic segmentation, and behavioral segmentation. Now, again a question arises. Does every company will uses all these segmentations? No. Depending upon the type of product, is a company will select one type of segmentation. There are certain cases that we have multi-stage segmentation can also be done. For example, initially we have used the geographical segmentation. Within this geographical segmentation, we are going for psychographic. Within this geographical, we are going for behavioral. Within this one, we are going for demographical. There is multi-stage, multi-layer segmentation might be possible, but there is no thumb rule that only this segmentation will be suitable, can be used by this company. Depending upon the type of product, the company will take the decision what type of segmentation that they want to go for. Now, let us have an in-depth analysis about all these 5 type of segmentations. Come to the first one, that is geographic segmentation. As the name itself is saying that geographical area, that is like different types of states, districts, urban areas, rural areas, based upon the region area, that when we are doing a segmentation, then we will call that as geographical segmentation. Segmentation of consumers based upon the factors like climate zone, continents, countries, regions, states, districts, urban or rural areas, then we will call that type of segmentation as geographical segmentation. For example, even within India, if we will consider, does the food habits of all the people will be same? I want to start a restaurant. Does whatever the restaurant, I am running a restaurant here in Hyderabad, whatever the menu that I have followed in Hyderabad, can I follow the same menu in North India? In Gujarat, I want to start another company, my branch I want to start there. Can I use the same menu? No, there should be certain changes has to be done. How we are doing this one? Depending upon the geographical area, depending upon the geography, the requirement or preferences of the people will changes. That we will call it as geographical segmentations. Marketers who operate globally, basically global markets are a national wide, whatever the companies, national and international business organizations will go for geographical segmentation. Often segmentation, the markets by, so different, initially what they will do means is they will divide the market based upon the geographical area, then they will go for the other basis. For example, within North India, within Gujarat, I want to start my restaurant in Gujarat. Within Gujarat, what happened? We have certain specific areas where many of the settlers were there who are from Andhra and Telangana. In that case, what happened? South India, like Chennai, Andhra, Telangana, those such people are available only in a specific area of Gujarat. In that case, what happened? Again, I will provide geographical segmentation I have done on the basis of cultural changes as I will take. So, within that geographical segmentation, is will go for another aspects. National markets within a country like India often segment the market by region, state, district, urban areas, rural areas and all first, and then they will go for any other segmentation. This will call it as geographical segmentation. Now, come to the next one, that is demographical segmentation. What are demographics? What are demographical characteristics that we have? Like age, gender, family size, income of an individual, or educational qualifications. All this will be considered as the demographical characteristics of individuals. Now, when we are doing the segmentation based upon all these parameters, all these aspects, then we'll call that as demographical segmentation, like race, religion, community, languages, marital status, a family age, status in the life size, etc., etc. Such a segmentation is known as demographical segmentation. Now, when we will use this one, for example, a company is manufacturing cosmetics. Now, how do they'll select what type of product that they need to manufacture, they want to introduce into the market? Demographical segmentation will be suitable. Even geographical will also be suitable to them. Why? The skin tone of the people, the requirement of different types of cosmetics depends upon the geographical area. Now, again in this geographical area, as they'll go for demographical characteristics. For example, all the income level people might not prefer to use the same type of cosmetics. All the age group people cannot use the same type of cosmetics. There will be certain restrictions that we have. So, such companies will use this demographical segmentation. Now, under this demographic, as we said, there are different types of characteristics that we have. Like the first one that we have, it is age. Age is one of the basic parameters for segmentation. Like based upon the ages, we have the different types, like infants, that is baby products. Johnson & Johnson is one of the best example for that. Baby Hut. There are many different types of brands. First Cry. What they are doing, their target is infants, newly born babies. So, such we will divide RLs, children's to teenagers that we have below 18 years, 12 years and all. For such people, the requirement of different types of products will be different. Next, youth, middle age as well as elders. So, a market can be segmented by all these things, because the type of product that is required by all these different age people will be different. The product might be same, but for example, we are going for a face cream, body lotion, something, soap. Soap can be used by all the people. Maybe some people may not are using this face creams and all. But from the newborn to the elderly, everybody is using a soap. Does a single soap will be suitable to all? No. So, we will use based upon the age that we have. The next one that we have, it is based upon the gender of the individual. One of the best example for this gender is we can talk about deodorants. Now, does the same deodorant can be used for all the youngsters? May not be. Depending upon the male gender, male and female, there is a difference between the type of deodorant that they are using. That means their preferences, their priorities will changes depending upon the gender. On the basis of gender, the consumer market may be classified into two types, that is male market and female market. So, depending upon that, we will decide what type of product to be launched. The next one that we have under the demographical segmentation, that is social class. So, depending upon the social classes, we are dividing a market. Now, best example for this is here we will talk about automobile sector. Best one, Tata. Tata is a company that is a very well-known brand under automobile sector. Now, does a Tata company is offering only the cars for the luxury people, only to the upper class people? Means no. It is offering their cars even to the middle class people with the different brands, sub-brands that they have. Even they are also offering the Tata Nano is one of the best example for lower class people. So, segmentation that can be done based upon the social class of an individual, then we will call that as social segmentation. So, campaign design their products and services for the particular social class. Depending upon the social class of the people, the type of product that they are using will be different. Or else take any product like detergents that we have. What they are doing, depending upon, like a company like HUL, they are offering different types of tea powder, tea dust. Does the tea dust offered by the HUL is same? Single one means no. They are offering from a high level brand like Tata, Taj Mahal and all expensive tea dust. Along with that, they are also providing the tea dust at a very lowest prices. So, why all these different types of products offering means they want to cover different segment of people, different segment on the basis of geography. So, this is demographical segmentation that we have. Come to the third one, that is socio-cultural segmentation. So here we have two basic aspects which will play a crucial element in the buying behavior of customers, that is social factors as well as the cultural factors. Now, what are the cultural factors that we have? As we said that geographical segmentation. Now, there are certain people who are living in America. Let us assume the people, there are certain type of customers that we have in America who are Indians, who are following all their cultural norms and all. In that case, what happened? Wherever that they are living, wherever they have been settled down, but they won't leave their culture. Depending upon the culture of the people, is they will follow with respect to their food habits, with respect to their dressing, etc., etc. Such a segment as we'll call it as culture. Culture influences consumer behavior very deeply. So deeply is before going to, for example, I went to a shop to purchase a dress. Which one that I will prefer, depending upon what kind of lifestyle or what kind of culture that my family will prefer. So, a given culture brings in its own unique pattern, social conduct. A person usually acquires his cultural attributes from their childhood onwards. So, from their from the family, is they'll get all these kind of values, beliefs can be learned. So, what is culture means? The values, beliefs that we are following. All these can be learned from childhood onwards. There are different elements that we have, like religious, caste, traditions, like different types of languages, patterns of social behaviors that we have. So, depending upon what kind of tradition that they are following, the type of product that they are purchasing will differ. This is one cultural factor. The another one that we have, it is not only the culture, it also depends upon the social factors that we have. Now, under the social factors, what happened? Like family. Social element means the people surrounding to an individual. What is the influence of these people on an individual? That we'll call them as social factors. For example, I want to buy a laptop, I want to buy a mobile, I want to buy a new dress. What will influences me means, yes, I may have different priorities, but my family members' opinion of my colleagues will impact to me on my decision to a great extent. Such factors as we'll call them as social factors. Social group of varying types influenced on consumer. Social groups include like family, peer, colleagues, close colleagues and all. Now, all these people will definitely influence us on the type of product that an individual is selecting. So, one of the example for this socio-cultural factors that we can talk about, McDonald's, which is offering both veg and non-vegetarian burgers. Veg and non-vegetarian type of food. On what basis means? Depending upon the culture that the individual is following, yes, their priority will changes. So, ultimately, they want to satisfy both the type of customers. This is about socio-cultural segmentation. Move on to the next one, that is psychographic segmentation. Now, what is psychographic segmentation? Basically, psychology, that is thinking, how an individual is perceiving, thinking about a content, about something. Depending upon that, their buying behavior will changes. For example, even though there are certain cases that we have, like Santur soap that we have. Now, when a customer, like a male at an age of 22, 25, when have a need of a, soap, even though they know that they are, their family members are using this Santur soap, but still when they went to a shop to purchase a soap for themselves, they may not prefer the Santur by thinking that the advertisement what has been telecasted, that will comes into their mind. They'll feel that it is only specifically used for, women. Such type of tendencies, such type of perceptions will make the individual not to buy the product. Like there are certain type of brands, even though they know that it might not be comfortable to them, but still we will buy. They will buy that product. Why? When they know that they are representing their lifestyle, then they'll try to adapt even though they don't like the product. So, such type of thinking perceptions as we'll call them as psychographic segmentation. Psychographic segmentation groups customers according to their lifestyle and buying psychology. So how, on what basis that they are taking this buying decisions? Many business offers a products based upon the attitudes, beliefs and emotions of their target market. Now, how what is the latest trend going on in the market with respect to marketing means emotional marketing. We need to make an customer emotionally attached to that company so that they won't leave us, they won't switch to any other competitive brands that are available in the market. The desire for status. Now, in the market, as I said just now, there are some people who know that the product might not be suitable to them, but still I don't know driving, but still I am buying a car. Why? Because if I don't have a car, if I am holding only a two-wheeler, I am earning lakhs of salary. In that case, it is a social status to me in the market. If I don't have a car means the people will consider me in a negative sense. Because of that, I will keep the car in my parking area, but whenever I want to use the car, I will hire a driver for that. Instead, it is very easy for me. Whenever I want to travel, I can book a car. There are many such services are available, but still why I'll prefer? Because I want to maintain that status. So such type of emotional things that will be holded by the marketers and enhancing their appearance. So when they are not different types of footwear that we have. Best example, take Bata, Paragon. Maybe this type of footwear are very well-known brands in the market, and at the same time, they may be much more comfortable to use. But still, do the customers will prefer this type of brands means may not be. Why? In the market, the brand image of such brands is not like energetic, not much more enthusiastic that they have. Because of that, even though the people know that they are not comfortable in a type X brand of a shoe, but still they'll use the same. Why? Because it is going to create their brand image. It is going to add to their personality. So that appearance that they want to see, they want to make more money, are the best examples for the psychographical segmentation. They are the factors that influences the psychographical decisions. So these are the various factors that are influencing the decisions of the people. Now, what kind of factors includes under this one? Like lifestyle of the people. So what is a lifestyle that then, for example, I am an employee at a educational institute. Let us consider twin sister who is working in a corporate. Both might be earning the same amount of salary, but the lifestyle, the type of products both of us are using the same may not be. With respect to family, social culture, everything is same. With respect to income levels, everything is same. But still, why there is a difference in the type of products that we are selecting? Because lifestyle is one of the factor there. So depending upon the surrounding, what type of corporate culture, according to that they will, but according to the institute where I am working, yes, I'll follow the norms of that one. So different attitudes of the individual, self-concept, and at the same time value system are the various basis for this, the purchasing decision of the people. A person pattern of interest, opinions combined to represent their lifestyle. So how do a lifestyle of an individual will develop? In which area that they are interested for? What kind of opinions that they have? So that based upon that, an individual will develop their lifestyle. Now come to the last one that we have, it is behavioral segmentation. Now depending upon what kind of behavior that an individual is exhibiting. So depending upon that, as we will divide the market, such segmentation is known as behavior. The customer can be divided based upon the certain segments on the basis of their how much knowledge that they have, what is the attitude, what is the use or response of a product, response of customers towards a product. Then we will call such segmentations are behavioral segmentation. Now, what type of behavioral segmentation that we have? Come to the first one, that is based upon the occasions. There are certain type of customers that we have who will use certain type of luxury products only during certain occasions. Even for certain type of socio-cultural people, upper class or middle class people, using a luxury deodorant might also be a occasional element for those people. Now what they are doing, Yes, they'll use this deodorant, expensive deodorants only on the specific occasions. So depending upon what is the occasion, what they are going to address, depending upon that, they'll prefer the different types of products. Now the next one that we have, it is benefits on. Now there are different types of customers that we have. They'll see what kind of benefits that the product is providing to us. So there are certain people who want to use the organic products, Ayurvedic products. So depending upon what they are expecting from the product, is they'll select the type of brand that is available in the market. Next one, user status. Now there are certain type of customers. We will divide the customers into different segments based upon the usage. There are first time users, regular users, potential users, non-users of that product, or ex-users of that product. Like, who never purchased the product. Best example nowadays is we have this Q-commerce. What happened if the customer not yet used that product, their services for the first time that they are using, the prices, there are much more benefits will be provided to those people. If there is a customer who is regularly purchasing, for those people they'll have the different marketing strategies. The customers who are switching from one brand to another, they'll have the different elements for those. So that we'll call them as user status. Depending upon the status of the users, as the type of marketing strategies that we are providing to them changes. Now the next one that we have, it is loyalty status. Now depending upon the loyalty status, a customer divided into different aspects, like hardcore loyal. Who are these hardcore loyal people that we have, who never prefer to change to any other brand? That means, as I am using a Mysore Sandal soap, I will use the same soap, even though there are many emerging brands are present in the market, but I never switch to any other. As they may be, the other competitive brands might be available at less price, maybe providing more competitive benefits, but still I'll stick on with the same brand because I'm using this since many years. So such customers as we'll call them as hardcore loyal. It is not possible to them to attract these kind of people. The next one that we have, it is split loyal. As the name itself is saying that split. Split represents that divide, 2 or 3. That means they will change, but not any brand they won't accept, but they'll have a specific choice set. Either I'll go with either Coca-Cola or else Thumbs Up, not any other brand. Either Sprite or 7-Up. I never go for any other brand. Like that, 2 or 3 brands that they are very specific about. Whereas the next one that we have, it is shifting loyals. Shifting loyals means they'll prefer to shift from one brand to another brand depending upon certain factors that they'll consider. But whereas the last one that we have, it is switchers. For this people, there is no loyalty. That means whenever they went to a shop, whatever the discount promotions that are available, depending upon that, they'll change their psychology. That we'll call it as switchers. Now, why it is important? Whenever we are defining our marketing strategies, we need to check what kind of customers that we have. Does our customers are hardcore loyal, split, or else switching, or shift loyalty? So depending upon that, we will try to define our strategies. And the last one that we have, it is depending upon the personality or attitude of an individual, as we will divide the introvert, extrovert, openness. All these are the different types of personalities and attitudes that they'll exhibit. Depending upon that, as we will divide the market. So this is about behavioral segmentation. Thank you.